Now, catching a big fish can make any fishing trip. Whether you're fishing a tournament, filming for a show, or just out there fishing. You get that big fish in the boat and it can really make your day. Today we're gonna show some of my best big fish catches. Thanks for joining us. This is Fishing and Hunting Texas.
From Mexico to Louisiana, the Red River down to the Laguna Madre, Texas is one big playground. Join professional bass fisherman and three-time FLW Angler of the Year, Clark Wendlandt, as he takes you on some of the best outdoor adventures the Lone Star State has to offer. This is Fishing and Hunting Texas.
You know, throwing topwater is truly one of my very favorite ways to fish. You can catch a lot of fish on topwater. The bites are really exciting, but you can also catch some real giants. These first few fish catches are all on topwater, and I'll promise you, they made that day. Come on. Oh, this stuff is thick. And I got as big a rod as I can have, is that I own, and as heavy a line as I can go with, and I still can't pull that thing out of the pads. So basically you just got to end up going to them sometimes. I didn't really realize how big it was. I knew it was a good fish, but it put up a pretty good tussle. We actually had to go to it. And when we got over there, 7+, might have been a little skinny in the tail, but just a gorgeous fish. Black and dark, had been in all that grass, and man, to me, it just doesn't get any better than that. Oh, come on, look at that thing. That is unbelievable. We just started fishing, and I'm sitting there talking about this frog. Look at, he ate the frog. It's gone. Look how pretty that bass is. That is unreal. Look at the head on that thing. God, I thought he was pretty big, but I had no idea that I'm gonna pull this thing out and it's gonna be a over 6 easy, over 6 pounder. I can stick my hand all the way down in his head. Look at him. Look how pretty that fish is. Dark green water. That's about as awesome as you can get right there. God, big. I really felt like I was throwing the right bait. What the popping perch will do for you is when it goes back and forth in the water, it'll almost stay exactly where it's at. So you can sit there and walking back and forth and keep it right in that same place. The strike zone of those bass is not real wide. And so, as I skip it up in there, throw it up in those little places, that popping perch going back and forth was a huge key. That's a good one. Oh, that's a nice one. God. No. That's no little one there. Oh my God. Sucker hit that thing. I could tell he was different. Oh my gosh, get it. Look at the size of that one. Strike King, popping perch. Look at this fish. I can barely hold that sucker up, man. That's a good one. That is awesome. Man, what a bite. He just, kaboosh, the whole thing just blows up. There's a striper. Oh, it's a bass. It's a giant. Look at that thing. Oh my God. Oh, that's the size of the other one I had. I was thinking there is no way that's not a striper. An absolute monster. Look at this guy. Oh, God. I slowed it down right there at the end. Get in here, dude. Oh! Oh, could that not have been more awesome right there? That thing hit it like 3 or 4 different times. Oh my gosh, what a fish.
Well, coming up, more highlights from Clark's big fish catches, including a fish over 12 pounds, next on Fishing and Hunting Texas.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
You sons of fishes. Ain't enough fish on this lake for 2 clubs.
Really? Well, we see plenty of fish live with Panoptics.
Yep. Dang, we should get Panoptics. Or maybe we'll just take yours.
What's going on here? You boys have license?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
There he is. Oh, I got him.
For 50 years, Ranger has led the way in innovative, high-performance designs, and we're raising the bar again with a bold new flagship line, the Ranger Z Comanche L Series. These rigs are custom crafted with a passion for perfection and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver domination at every level. The next generation Ranger L Series. Celebrate a legacy, 50 years in the making.
Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder.
You know, I've always been a power fisherman, and I really love throwing a crankbait. Whether fishing shallow or deep, a crankbait can catch you some really big fish. Check out these crankbait big fish catches. We're sitting there, we've had a great day, we've caught a ton of fish, but you're thinking, well, I'd really like to catch a big one. I wonder where the big one's gonna be. And I'm in a drain, and I jerked my bait a couple times, and bam, I mean, all of a sudden I got one, and my comment is, big one. I got a big one. I think it might be a bass. Yep, big one. Look at that guy. I pulled him out of that grass a couple of different times. Oh, come on. I got him hooked pretty good. That's the one you want. Woo! Look at that one. Now that fish stopped it. I want to show you that guy right there. He stopped it. It was like going along, and I hopped it a couple times, and then all of a sudden, boom! And I was thinking, there's no way that could be a bass. Look at the size of that giant. That's awesome. There's one. Woo, that's a big one. Look at the size of this brute. They started pulling water, and oh, he choked it. Get out of there. that one. Oh, that's a good one. Look how deep he had that plug. I'm gonna show you. Now, that's how you want to see him eat a crankbait right there. Deep down in the gut. And it's easy to unhook them too. You just give it just a little bit of slack and it comes right out. That is a giant right there now. Look at that fish. 6-pound. They turned on the dam, and you know, we're sitting out here, we're catching fish, everything's good, and all of a sudden they turn on this water, and we hadn't caught anything for about 30 minutes, and then caught a Guadalupe, and bam, 6-pounder. That's awesome. You know, the biggest fish I ever caught on camera was on a square bill 1.5. Choke Canyon Reservoir. Now, this was a long time ago. I was fishing with Wade Middleton, and we had one of the best days we've ever had. Check out this fish. Oh God, that's a...
I'm just gonna hit the release on mine and let the line out.
He's in that tree.
He's in that bush. I'm gonna go that way. I'll go that way. That is a giant. He just turned around.
He's still in that tree.
I can see him.
Oh, he's right. I'm wrapped around the tree.
Oh, you're around the tree?
I'm around that tree.
There he is up there. He's up behind him.
Yeah, okay, just wait. I think I'm just around the bush. I bet I can. Oh my gosh. This isn't good. We're in a pickle here.
We're in a big pickle.
Yeah, he's out of that tree now.
Oh man, that is hilarious. In a tournament, we'd have been done hours ago. Holy cow.
Look at that fish.
Jesus.
Giant.
He's so
You better get him.
God.
Whoa.
There's a
That's a giant fish.
That's a Sherlunker,
Oh
man.
my gosh. That might have been the biggest one I ever caught right there.
Sherlunker, Charles. How many odds of getting that fish in?
Oh man, we were all over the lake with that
How
thing.
heavy this fish is, dude. I mean, this is
Oh my gosh.
shook me up bad. I mean, you know, I'm hung up over here, and he goes, I think there's one there, and I'm just kind of looking, and all of a sudden I see it come up. And first thing goes through my mind, I got to break my line. I mean, we've got to get to this fish. But I thought it was about 8 or 9 pounds when it first came up. And I think Clark kind of even told me, I don't remember, it all started going fuzzy there, that no, it's bigger than 8 or 9 pounds. And he's wrapped around a tree, and I don't know where to go with the trolling motor. I'm probably getting in the way more than anything. And then I just couldn't do anything but laugh as this fish came out of the water. But once I picked it up, I knew that I hadn't touched a fish that big in my life. That is awesome.
I don't know what to say about that right there.
In a tournament, that would never have gone down. That is the biggest bass. How much you think that thing weighs?
I don't know, but he's big. Man, I mean, that was a total cluster. The fact that we got that fish in was just amazing. You know, you're hung up, I get a fish on, and then all of a sudden it comes out of the water. We both know it's huge, and we're trying to get over to it. Your line's under the boat. You have to cut yours off, and the whole thing takes like 3 minutes. We finally get free of the tree, it gets in another tree, and then it comes out. And you know, it was amazing. It was a testimony to how well that fish bit that bait, because it was way down his throat. You know, it had him hooked in the tongue. Didn't hurt him, but you know, it was amazing to catch him.
Every time we go fishing, you know we gotta tie one on.
In all honesty, when do I not tie one on?
Every time I go in the water, I love to tie one on. Every day of the week, I like to tie one on.
You may not know this about me, but every once in a while, I've been known to tie one on.
Come on, man, join the Stray King team. All you gotta do, tie one on.
I think I always tie one on.
I love being out here on the tour. It's all about chasing the unseen in the toughest conditions. My gear is my edge, my advantage. It's what keeps me at the top of my game. Year after year.
Wiley X, with removable gaskets to block wind, dust, and peripheral light.
At Sawyer, we use the best technology to make simple products that keep you going regardless of your journey. So whether you're boating, hiking, fishing, camping, or hunting, we keep you outdoors with a full lineup of products to both protect you and make the outdoors more enjoyable. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors.
This portion of Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you in part by Cabela's, It's in Your Nature, by Strike King, Sawyer, we keep you outdoors, and by TH Marine. Hey, welcome back. Well, if you've just joined us, we're looking at some of Clark's best fishing catches. Let's take a look at what we've shown before.
Just a little bit of slack and it comes right out. That is a giant right there now. I want to show you that guy right there. He stopped it. I can stick my hand all the way down in his head. Look at him. Look how pretty that fish is. You know, everybody knows that big fish love to hide out in thick, heavy cover. The only way you can get to those fish a lot of times is by flipping. Check out some of my favorite flipping big fish catches. God, that's a good one now, I promise you. He bit it and he kind of handcuffed me just a little bit. Oh, now there's a good one. That's a ladybird lake bass right there, if I've ever seen it. Look at the size of that fish. I want to show you that guy right there. That's a beautiful fish right there. Wow, that fish, I felt it kind of down in those cypress roots or in some kind of, you know, sticks or something down there, and all of a sudden it just kind of got heavy. That's a beautiful fish right there. Yeah, it just kind of, I was just kind of bringing it in, you know, and there's one. That's Moby right there. Oh. I had one, I missed one on the cast before. Look at the size of this guy. Oh my God. And all of a sudden, I get it, I make another cast back into that clump. Get up here, Dad. You see all that grass wrapped around him? Ah, that's what we're fishing for right there. And we're out here, Lake LBJ. Look how far in that jig is in that fish's mouth. I mean, he inhaled it. And I get a bite, and when I set the hook, man, he just had come so far. Look how big that fish is. I mean, he's not real big, you know, wide in his gut, but he's long. That's a good one. That's awesome. You know, at Kurth Lake, we start fishing there. I've never been there before in my life. I pick up a swim bait. It just felt like a swim bait. You know, when I first started out, I was thinking, well, you know, I wonder if it's gonna be grass, or I wonder, you know, I mean, there was a lot of grass there. I didn't know exactly what the situation was gonna be. But when you get your very first fish you catch all day is a big one, like a 7-pounder, usually that means it's gonna be a great day. I've had 3, maybe 4 bites in a row. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Look at that fish, he can't even jump. He's so lethargic, he just ate that thing. Look at this bait so far down in his face. Oh. Oh my gosh. Now I was sitting there just talking about the fact that those could be good fish. You know, I'm getting a bite, I get a little tick, I get another little tick. And man, look at the size of that fish. You know, and that was one of those fish that when I actually got that bite, I had to reel really slow. And the key is that you couldn't jerk first bite you felt. You basically had to just keep reeling that swim bait until basically the bait loaded up. And when it loaded up, then you jerk and you'd have a big fish on there. First fish of the day, being a giant, set the tone for the whole trip. That's right there. Look at the fat belly on that dude. Gosh, that's a heavy fish. That's 2 and 2 casts. Now look, I barely did hook that one. That's a good one right there.
Oh, nice catches from Kurth Lake Clark. Coming up, more big fish catching right here on Fishing and Hunting Texas.
When I talk about Sunline, I think of one word: confidence.
Sunline FX2 is what I use for all of my frogging and flipping.
S61 braid, which braid plays a big part in fishing line.
Shooter, I'm going to use in those close quarter deals like flipping and pitching.
One of my favorite techniques in fishing the tournament trail is to fish offshore ledges.
We have taken the questions out of the equation.
Take my word for it. It works. It works, dude.
High-Vis Shooting Systems knows that your shooting performance matters in all conditions. All high-vis shooters experience faster target acquisition with our durable light wave sights. Featuring easily interchangeable light pipes, light wave sights give your eyes the exact sight picture you crave. Shoot high-vis. See what you've been missing. This portion of Fishing and Hunting Texas is brought to you in part by Engel Coolers, a legend in reliability, owner, perfection in hooks, and by Power Pole, swift, silent, secure.
You know, when you're fishing a lake that has a lot of grass in it, one thing that you know is you have a chance to catch a really big fish. Big fish live around grass. Their whole life cycle does better around grass. With bait, with shade, with oxygen, they thrive around it. And so a lot of times we fish around that grass, and a lot of times we catch some giant bass. Oh man, that's awesome. Oh, man, that's an awesome fish right there. At least 7, I'd say. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. We are absolutely just at the end of the day trying to get us a good bite, and we got it right here. Gosh. Oh, that's too awesome right there. Oh gosh, look at the size of that giant fish right there. Now that's what kind of fish we've been looking for all day. You know, there's nothing like catching a big fish. It can make any day. We've enjoyed bringing you today's show. Hey, if you get the opportunity, check out our website, like us on our Facebook page, message us, let us know where you'd like to see us fish all around this great state. We'd love to hear from you.
Fishing and Hunting Texas is a Careco TV production.